Samir Almani was born in the crowded flats of Bijlmer, Amsterdam. The neighborhood was filled with noise. Kids playing football, mothers yelling from balconies, and police sirens echoing in the distance. Samir wasn't born into crime. He was born into struggle. His father worked endless shifts at the docks, and his mother cleaned offices at night. Samir used to tell her, "One day, I'll buy you a house with golden doors." But the streets had their own dreams for him. By the time Samir turned 14, school didn't matter anymore. The older boys on the block, slick sneakers, big chains, fast cars, became his heroes. They called themselves the new kings. They had money, girls, and respect. Samir began running errands, first cigarettes, then small packets hidden in candy bags. Every delivery earned him cash that his teachers could never explain. At 16, Samir made his first big move. He sold a kilo of cocaine for a group of Moroccan Dutch dealers who operated in the back streets of South Amsterdam. The night he handed over the product and received 5,000 euros cash, something changed inside him. He told his best friend Karim, "I'm never going back to being broke again." Samir's rise didn't go unnoticed. An older crime boss named Rashid Maktoum, known as the Banker, invited him to a cafe in De Pipe. Rashid wasn't impressed by talk. He was impressed by loyalty. He told Samir, "If you want to last in this game, don't trust your friends. Trust your silence." Those words would later haunt him. Within 2 years, Samir controlled drug routes stretching from Amsterdam to Rotterdam. He bought his mother a new apartment in Almere and told her he was in import business. Every night, the sound of BMW engines echoed through the parking lot. People whispered his name, some with fear, some with envy. Then came Omar Belhadi, another young player trying to take over the same territory. At first, they pretended to be allies. They even took a photo together at a nightclub in Antwerp. But within months, Omar's men attacked one of Samir's runners. The message was clear. The city wasn't big enough for both. The first shot came on a cold Thursday night. One of Samir's closest friends, Karim, was ambushed outside a kebab shop in Slotervaart. He died instantly. Samir arrived minutes later and saw his brother lying in a pool of blood. That night, something inside him broke. He swore revenge. He told his men, "No peace until they bleed." What followed was chaos. Cars exploded, houses were shot at, and police sirens became part of daily life. Newspapers began calling it the Amsterdam Drug War. Samir's name appeared in whispers. Never printed, always spoken. Even the police knew there was a silent war raging under the city lights. As the streets got hotter, Samir fled to Marbella, Spain, where several Dutch criminals had found refuge. There, he met El Toro, a Spanish smuggler who controlled cocaine routes from South America. Together they made millions. But money in that world always comes with a shadow. Samir started changing. Expensive watches, yachts, parties with models. He was living the life he once dreamed of. But every smile hid paranoia. He began sleeping with a gun under his pillow and 2 phones beside his bed. Even in paradise, he could hear the echo of Amsterdam's gunfire. Back in the Netherlands, one of Samir's closest men, Youssef, was arrested. The police offered him a deal: freedom for information. What Samir didn't know was that his empire was already leaking from the inside. Every shipment, every coded message, someone was watching. In early 2015, a shipment worth millions was seized at Rotterdam port. It was the biggest hit to Samir's network. He called Rashid in panic, but Rashid's tone was cold. "You've been too loud, Samir. Too flashy. The wolves are closing in desperate to rebuild his power." Samir reached out to old rivals, including Omar's cousin, who secretly wanted revenge for Karim's death. It was a dangerous game, one that ended in betrayal, as expected in Amsterdam's underworld. Samir arranged one last major shipment through Antwerp. It was supposed to be his comeback deal. He even flew in from Spain to personally oversee it. But that decision sealed his fate. On the night of the deal, Samir received a phone call. The voice said, "We're waiting at the docks. Come alone." He never hung up. The police later found his phone still ringing, lying beside his car. The cold night air carried a quiet tension. Samir arrived at the docks wearing a black jacket and a cap pulled low. The place was silent, except for the sound of the river. He looked around but saw no one. Suddenly, headlights flashed. 2 cars blocked his way. Before Samir could react, masked men stepped out. Shots echoed through the night. The deal was a setup. Samir barely escaped with his life, his car riddled with bullets. Injured and bleeding, Samir drove for hours toward Rotterdam. He changed cars 3 times, switching phones and using false names. He called Rashid, but the old man didn't answer. The underworld that once welcomed him now wanted him dead. Samir had become a hunted man. By morning, news spread through Amsterdam's coffee shops. Samir is finished. Omar's men celebrated quietly. Some said Samir fled to Morocco. Others claimed he was hiding in Germany. The police had no record of his crossing any border. To the city, he became a ghost. Back in Almere, Samir's mother hadn't seen him in months. She watched the news every night, praying his name wouldn't appear in headlines. She told reporters, "My son is not a monster. He just wanted to be someone." Her words broke the hearts of many, because deep down, everyone knew Samir was a product of the streets that made him. Detective Eddie Voss, known for chasing down the biggest Dutch criminals, put Samir on his list. Voss believed Samir still controlled part of the cocaine routes through Belgium, but catching him wasn't easy. Samir knew how to vanish. He had contacts in Spain, Morocco, and even Dubai. In 2016, a rumor began to spread. Samir was back. Some said they saw him near the Damrak. Others claimed he met secretly with Benaouf A, one of Amsterdam's most feared figures. Whether true or not, fear returned to the city's underworld. The streets whispered again. The Shadow Prince has returned. Samir started small again, laundering money through car washes and nightclubs. His new crew was loyal, young, and hungry. He told them, "No phones, no noise. We move like ghosts." Slowly, the money started flowing again, but so did the danger. Using old connections, Samir reopened routes between the 2 cities. Cocaine from South America entered through Antwerp, hidden in fruit shipments, then distributed in Amsterdam. It was the same system used by the late Klaas Bruinsma decades before, and Samir had perfected it. By now, the Macro Mafia, led by figures like Ridouan Taghi and Saeed Razouki, dominated the Dutch underworld. Samir avoided direct conflict with them, but often worked on the edges of their network. He respected their power and feared it. One wrong move could end his life. Samir teamed up with Hussein Ait Susan, a powerful player known for his cool temperament and sharp strategy. Together, they smuggled cocaine worth millions, using coded messages and corrupt port workers. Their bond was strong until greed crept in. When 3 million euros went missing from a deal, Hussein accused Samir of betrayal. The two once called each other brothers. Now they sent armed men to watch each other's movements. In the underworld, friendship is temporary. Power is forever. Samir flew back to Spain to settle things. There, he met Ali Akgun, another Dutch-Moroccan criminal living luxuriously on the Costa del Sol. Ali warned him, "These days, Amsterdam eats its own. Be careful who you trust." A few weeks later, Ali was shot dead in his car. Samir knew the message wasn't random. Samir started using encrypted phones and fake passports. His meetings were always last minute, and no one knew his full schedule. The police called him the Phantom. Even journalists who wrote about him only had rumors, never facts. One night, his new lieutenant, a young man named Malik, disappeared with €500,000. 2 days later, Malik's body was found in a forest near Hilversum. The message was brutal but clear. Betrayal never ends well in the Dutch underworld. Samir's younger brother tried to live an honest life, running a small car repair shop. But police harassment and public suspicion made it impossible. The sins of Samir's empire haunted his entire family. His mother stopped leaving the house altogether. In late 2018, Samir agreed to one last meeting with a Belgian contact. It was supposed to be a simple exchange of cash for product. But the meeting was a setup. Belgian police, working with Dutch investigators, raided the warehouse. Bullets flew. Samir managed to escape again, but barely. For nearly a year, Samir vanished completely. Some believed he was hiding in Morocco under a false identity. Others thought he was dead. But whispers among criminals said he was plotting revenge against the people who betrayed him. When videos started circulating online of a masked man calling out former allies by name, everyone knew it was Samir. The accent, the words, the anger. It was unmistakable. He declared, "I will take back what is mine." The streets grew silent. Everyone locked their doors. The Dutch police launched Operation Phantom, a mission to dismantle Samir's network. Dozens of his associates were arrested, warehouses raided, and bank accounts frozen. But Samir himself was never found. Every time they got close, he was already gone. By 2021, investigators believed Samir had moved to Dubai, living quietly under a new identity, investing in real estate. Some said he had retired. Others insisted he was still running operations through coded middlemen. The truth remained buried under luxury and lies. Even in absence, his name carried weight. Young dealers used his nickname, the Shadow Prince, as inspiration. Older criminals spoke of him with respect and fear. The cycle he started continued long after he vanished. In 2023, an anonymous source told police Samir had secretly returned to Amsterdam to visit his mother's grave. A man in a black coat was seen leaving flowers, whispering something in Arabic before disappearing into the night. No one ever confirmed if it was truly him. Among Amsterdam's street legends, Bruinsma, Holleder, Taghi, Samir's name became part of the same whispered circle. He wasn't the richest or most brutal, but he was the one who always survived. And in the underworld, survival is the highest form of power. Months later, a mysterious email reached a Dutch journalist. It read simply, "I am not gone. Just watching." It was signed, S.A. The journalist handed it to police, but the trace led nowhere. Today, Samir Almani remains one of the most mysterious figures in the Dutch criminal scene. His story, from a poor boy in Bijlmer to a feared international trafficker, is both tragic and fascinating. Some call him evil, others a survivor of circumstance. But one thing is certain. As long as Amsterdam's streets hum with the echoes of the underworld, the legend of Samir A will never truly die.